10 ways to grow your pension from 100K to a million. I've written them down this morning. First of all, move from a default fund. If your IFA or wealth manager or employers put you on a default fund, move away from a default fund to one with a defined strategy. Hopefully the strategy is one that you've developed, not just theirs. Usually the default fund is not as good growth as their highest growth one. So ask them, what the hell have you put me in? Why is it performing so poorly? Ask them how it did in 2022, which was a down year. And then usually for most people I speak to, they want higher growth in their retirement funds. So move to that. Secondly, annual rebalancing. What this means is, let's say you've got 20 equities, all have 5% in each. You go back to 5% in each at the end of the year. Why? Because very often if you leave the winners too long, they become an unbalanced part of your portfolio, and therefore you become prone to single stock risk. Let's say one of them did so well, it became 100% of your portfolio. You might think, well, that's no problem. You might want to ease back on it. You don't necessarily have to rebalance completely, but you might want to just take some money off the table because things tend not to keep growing at an exponential rate if you're lucky enough to have something which has done it. So annual rebalancing, everything equal weight by the end of the year. Number 3, understanding your actual fund allocation, not just the label. So what this means is, when they say growth or value, actually look at where the money has gone. When you get the fact sheet off them, you'll often find that the label is absolute nonsense. I'll give you an example. There's ones which will say green energy. Actually, they're largely in American equities and tech companies. And if you really genuinely wanted green energy, that isn't going to give it to you. Vice versa, they might say tech growth, and you look at it and you think, well, wait a minute, these are not the companies I would have put my money in. What the hell's this Chinese company? A lot of the investments that they make are done for marketing purposes. They liaise closely with the marketing department. Marketing department says, look, can you shove a bit of China in so we can show how innovative and different you are? So just be careful about how these funds are created. Number 4, if you're with L&G and Vanguard, you're usually duplicated, spray and pray, over diversified. They've got 100 stocks to 1,000 in your portfolio, and you've got so little of individual stock holdings. So look at what you actually hold on any individual stock and concentrate it into maybe 10 of the best companies. That's how you get from 100K to a million. You don't stick with those kind of funds. You have the concentration at 5% in, like I said, 20 companies. As a broad rule, obviously it'll depend upon your bespoke risk appetite. Number 5, compounding maths. 2% extra return does over 15 years on 100K. Do the maths. What does 2% extra return do over 15 years on 100K? That's going to get a long way towards making you closer to that million. So how do you get the extra 2%? 1, cut out the middleman, the IFA and the fund manager, and stop paying them fees and learn to do it yourself. 2, get better growth than they're giving you. They're probably targeting about 5% per annum. When you consider that the S&P 500, the American markets alone, the broad markets have done 15% per annum over the last 10 to 15 years, you can see how you're being sold a load of rubbish. And they'll point to a good year where they got lucky, or the markets made them lucky, but what about the last 2 or 3 years? If you look at even something like Fundsmith, who are resting on their laurels and their old brand name, they've been doing slightly over 5% for the last 5 years, per annum, 5% per annum. Some of the best stocks and shares ISA funds, they only do 3.5% per annum, and that's the best ones that you'll find. So be careful about that drag on your growth, otherwise you won't get to that million. Number 6, global equity versus UK heavy funds. The performance gap. Now, I know the UK's done well over the last year, but generally, being UK heavy hasn't helped. So at the moment, UK fund managers are advertising like crazy because it's their one window of opportunity. It's the ugly kid, the kid who never gets picked at football, whose opportunity to say, look, we won for once. Okay, but you probably do want to be looking at where's the highest growth regions in the world. For me, it tends to be the same as what Warren Buffett selects, which is US companies, because I've got more choice. It's not because I've got some great faith in America or anything else. It is because I've got more choice, and those companies are global in any event. If you take somebody like Lam Research, I've been to their offices in India. Okay, so these are global, but they're Americans. You've got that global coverage anyway. And as for currency risk, remember you're holding for the longer term, so it might work in your favor by a couple of points or against you by a couple of points. The idea is the growth compensates you in any event were currency not to have worked out for you, but because you're holding for the long term, it's an added diversified asset. You've got some US dollars. 7, when to use a SIP or ISA wrapper for pension growth. Know that if you've not used your allowance, you might want to have your own SIP outside your workplace pension, your own ISA, to use that yourself. But I'd say in all circumstances, if you can, learn to do it yourself. Rather than paying an expensive chauffeur IFA fund manager to do it for you, learn to drive yourself instead, using a SIP and ISA to grow that pension portfolio. Number 8, what hedge funds do differently. Now, this is my angle of how we get from 100K to a million. We want to look at the Sortino ratio, which is the average return a company has generated, but more importantly, versus the downside risk. Do they, whenever they fall, because all stocks can fall, flip back quickly? Okay, so Sortino is really important, and CROCI, cash return on capital invested. We look at that data, which is companies with the highest amount of cash generation for any capital investment. So they buy a factory and it becomes a cash cow. That's what you're looking for. And you want companies in the top 25% of all companies by cash return on capital invested. So we like companies which are churning out, throwing out cash, because it means they've got more profits. It means they've got more buffers, more resilience to global markets. It means their valuation can't drop too far because they've got a big amount of cash sitting in the bank. And it means they can make acquisitions, they can buy out other people's intellectual property, and so on. And Goldman Sachs Wealth Management use that tool as well for their richest clients. And their data shows those portfolios outperform significantly over the long term. And number 10, to get from 100K to a million, probably the best one, get a free pension education review from us. Have a look at the link in the bio. We'll tell you in your pension what's going wrong, what isn't growing, what's charging you too many fees, why your pension and your retirement is off track. We'll do all that educational analysis completely for free. So go to alpeshpatel.com or the link in the bio for all of that, and that's an incredibly important way to get from 100K to a million. At the moment, it's all the stuff you're not doing which is costing you. Okay, so thank you all for listening.